That's delicious. Really nice. Yeah, really good.
We all know that the king of the kitchen loves to shake his fist and crack his whip at amateur chefs.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Don't push the
finger.
finger.
Put your hands up here. Listen to me.
Food, music, and you're just terrible.
But just like we've seen in our past video, Gordon Ramsay has had a few moments where he actually liked the food. We've done some additional research and found out that there are more rare instances where he enjoyed the food from other people.
Delicious.
The cocky chef who amazed Gordon.
I hope his extra commitment in the kitchen is reflected in the standard of his food.
After lending a hand to the Italian restaurant La Lanterna, Gordon came back to find Alex, the restaurant's owner and the head chef, as full of himself as he can be.
I just want Gordon to come back in a year's time and say, yes, Alex, you are an A1 chef.
Gordon was treated with a nice plate of meatballs and pasta at the beginning of his visit. And we don't get to say this often, but Gordon had no negative comments.
Real, hearty, rustic, wholesome Italian food.
Then the veal came. Gordon was munching down that plate like it was his last. The sauce, the delicate meat, everything about that plate looked staggeringly delicious.
Oh God, it's so good.
Me. Here's Letchworth, ready for Alex Scott.
It was one of those times where Gordon came back to a kitchen that he once stood in to help enhance it. Alex surely got it right and made the most out of Gordon's help.
We basically cleared off all our debts, all our business and personal debts.
Yep.
Started afresh, started a new year with a clear bank balance.
Now with the restaurant's debts all resolved, Alex can focus on pleasing the world's taste buds with a cocky smirk on his face.
What you're saying is that you're no longer a cowboy.
Absolutely. 100%.
Eels jellied just like Gordon loves them.
There's nothing more British than a pot of jellied eels, and for hundreds of years they were our favourite fast food snack.
You may not know this about Gordon, but he absolutely loves eels. He thinks it's a part of British heritage that needs to be revived. Many think that they are disgusting.
No. That's disgusting. They're slimy. I'll probably be sick.
But Gordon absolutely thinks otherwise.
Slimy? It's satisfying.
To prove them wrong, he went down to River Thames and met with the only remaining traditional jellied eel fishermen, and together they captured some eels. Then Gordon got them cut up and ready for cooking.
And then all you do is add a little bit of gelatine, a little bit of salt, and then when we get them out, say they're beautiful jellied eels.
We know it might sound a bit gross for most of you who might have never tried them, but Gordon looked like he really enjoyed his jellied eels. Honestly, they do look a bit too slimy, especially in that big container they're put in. Keep jellied eels on your bucket list of food that you might want to try one day.
That is delicious. The flavour is amazing.
Tripe with a modern recipe.
Tripe, ladies. Is there anyone out there under the age of 30 who would like to buy some tripe?
No!
Tripe is one of these things that Gordon shares a liking of exclusively with 60-plus folks. With a craving for tripe, he visited a butcher to see who was asking for tripe. And he found old people who ate it raw, he met a man who ate tripe as a snack, but there wasn't a single person under the age of 40.
Tripe's clearly got an image problem, and many young people haven't even tried it. So with Bob's help, I'm setting up my very own belly deli.
Some flour, cayenne pepper, lemon zest, and the tripe was ready for the frying pan. As soon as Gordon started frying the tripe, people young and old gathered around the smell.
Where are all the tripe virgins? You. Tripe. Here we go.
With his astounding recipe, Gordon got 18-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and young kids all waiting for the tripe.
Do you like it?
It's really nice, actually, yeah.
Yes, and it's fried in a pan.
As well, I think I might try it myself.
Honestly, how he made it is completely new to us. And made that way, tripe suddenly starts looking a bit tempting.
Next time you're out, get down to your butcher and get some tripe for dinner.
The ultimate Argentine rib eye.
That has to be the most perfect way of eating a fillet steak. Delicious.
Gordon is a true steak connoisseur. He's an expert on taste and he preps them perfectly. So, to gain Gordon's approval on a steak is not that easy. Ernesto, the chef at Santa Maria del Sur, an Argentine restaurant in London, was up to the challenge. First of all, a steak can't be done right unless done with the right piece of meat. It actually looks pretty tempting while it's raw.
The quality of the meat in Argentina is very good, because the crust is very good, the weather conditions are fantastic.
Everybody at the restaurant seemed to be absolutely stunned by the food.
People just, they come, they ask for the steak, they receive the steak, they enjoy it with wine, and that's it.
And it was Gordon's turn. The ribeye steak came loin just like Gordon Ramsay is known to love it, thick and medium rare.
Steak's nice and thick. Honestly, that charcoal flavour is extraordinary. And so nice to see it being done properly.
To match Gordon's standards, that steak must have been top-notch. After getting that much pleasure from his steak, Gordon chose Santa Maria del Sur to compete on the F Word as the best local South American restaurant.
The restaurant is true to my own heart. Not a vegetarian in sight anywhere.
Trifle with vinegar.
The judges didn't say you can't take a little twist, so I went ahead and took some creative license on it.
Some things don't sound quite right when you hear their ingredients, but when you give them a try, you realize that the risk was worth it. That is exactly what happened with Stacy, one of the contestants on MasterChef. Stacy added to the trifle a layer of lemon curd and mascarpone, and, wait for it,
a strawberry preserve using a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
You put balsamic vinegar in a trifle.
It shocked Gordon at first, just like it probably shocked you. Incredibly, everyone on the show who tasted this trifle was utterly flabbergasted by its perfect taste.
It's delicious.
Thank you.
Really good indeed. Smart, bold move, great job.
Graham Elliott was pretty impressed too.
Super balanced. The layers are there. I do miss the sprinkles though. I think they're cute.
She stepped up and took the risk of getting a Gordon Ramsay roast on air.
There was one standout dish that took a risk and made it work.
And awarded her by choosing her as the winning contestant.
Falling in love with my husband, jumping out of an airplane, and Gordon Ramsay loving my trifle.
The Rajasthan Goat.
That one's going to be something which you, my dear friend, are going to dig.
A guaranteed way to get Gordon satisfied with the food is to give him the whole experience with it. And what can be better than a desert grill right in the middle of the desert in India?
Pit cooking was developed by the desert nomads who wanted to travel light without cooking utensils.
Along with his companion Bazo, Gordon put together an amazing Rajasthan goat curry meal with all the magnificent Indian spices wrapped with a layer of bread, which they then slow cooked in a desert grill that they set up inside a hole in the sand.
I'm imagining that this is a certain person's face.
You French pig!
After they were done and unwrapped their meal, it certainly did look mouth-watering.
Delicious.
When they gathered around with company to enjoy the goat, there were only the sounds of the sizzling fire and Gordon's enjoyment.
I didn't think it would be tasty, but the bread absorbs the juices.
It takes the juices in, yeah.
And it's sort of pregnated with the spices.
They were all very delighted with the taste of the spices, but this was in India after all.
So if there's one thing I've learned tonight since being in the desert, is sticking to tradition.
Indian food at its origin.
I don't know if what we're doing in the UK is an insult to what they do over here. I'm not complete with the level of Indian food that I know.
Gordon's same trip to India included plenty of awesome foodie experiences. While he was in Delhi, he got to meet with one of the country's renowned food critics at a restaurant called Mori Mahal, one of the most famous restaurants in India.
This place is where most of Indian food, the way it's known the world over, they all began here.
He was surprised to know that they were nothing similar to the real deal.
It is nothing close.
Ready?
What you're gonna get.
The butter chicken and the tandoori chicken both tasted a whole lot different. It's a given, of course, that food in India is a big part of their culture.
Bloody hell.
It is? Nothing gives me more pleasure than seeing someone eat and saying bloody hell.
With the sight of the food on screen and with Gordon's focused look that we only see when he's trying out something that he likes, we can make sure that Gordon was pretty pleased by that food.
How does this compare with what you've had?
I mean, that already, honestly, Seema, is chalk and cheese.
The queen of sausages.
So where are we going now?
I'm taking you to the house of the lady who make a very good sausage.
On one of his journeys in Thailand, Gordon was taken to a small shack where an old Thai lady sold sausages. Really spicy sausages.
And you're gonna sell it in your country?
No, I wouldn't sell her sausages at home. My God, no. I'd be shocked if they were that spicy.
These sausages are nothing like the sausages eaten in the UK or in the US for that matter.
They're as hot as a furnace, but the flavour is incredible.
He actually enjoyed them so much that he sat and made some sausages with the sausage queen herself.
She's using hundreds of powerful Thai chilies.
After the spicy paste was made out of all the peppers, garlic, and a mix of Thai herbs, they were mixed with the minced pork.
Now for the tricky part.
It's the intestine, yeah.
Yes, they were actual intestines. The recipe does sound a bit strange, but we have to say, these sausages did look pretty darn delicious.
It's fiddly work, and Mrs. Rudd thinks her apprentice needs more practice.
Thai fish and oysters.
So that's the main characteristics of the southern Thai cuisine.
Yes.
Hot and sour.
Yeah.
In another one of his great escape adventures, Gordon visited a small village where he heard the oysters were made to perfection. It was an old lady chef that he met there.
She's going to show me the Thai way to serve oysters and an amazing fish soup.
When Gordon finds a type of food that sounds delicious, he tries to make it himself.
That's right, we have to bang.
Yes.
The ingredients were a bit odd for a foreigner, but they obviously added up to one killer meal. Inside a big pot of boiling water, they dropped in the fresh fish, then they added some fish sauce, sugar,
And finally, an essential southern sour ingredient, palm vinegar.
After that, they prepared the oyster dipping. It was basically garlic, fish sauce, salt, sugar, and lots of chili.
Not hot at all. Need more chili a little bit? Yeah.
No more chili.
It seems like Thai people can handle a shitload of heat when it comes to spicy food. But all in all, the oysters and fish meal got Gordon absolutely delighted.
Thank you so much. Those oysters were delicious. Thank you.
The young steak master.
I know that he is a strong chef, and now I think people will definitely see that he is someone to watch out for.
Season 3 of MasterChef Junior featured a group whose oldest child was 12 years old. But we're talking about the show's youngest contestant here, Riley Hahn, the 8-year-old MasterChef contestant from Carrollton, Texas, who surprised his fellow youngsters and his adult judges alike. While people in their 40s stand low in front of Gordon's insults to their subpar performance in the kitchen,
Who you're serving that and trying to charge people money for that.
I care.
You don't care No f***ing way.
this 8-year-old boy got Gordon stunned speechless by his astounding skills.
I mean, right?
That kid was standing up to monster standards, but he was able to stand tough and conquer. His dish of smeared steak with beef ramen made Gordon stand there astonished by this young man presenting him with an apparently flawless steak. Only flawlessness can get these reactions out of Chef Ramsay, it seems.
The flavour of the broth is delicious, the steak is perfect, and that dish confirms that you're from Texas.
With an authentic Texan touch, Riley gained Gordon's approval. And maybe, for the first time that we know of, Gordon let the young chef taste his food, not as a punishment for its substandard taste and texture, but to let him get a mouthful of his own masterpiece.
That is Riley on a plate. Great job.
You've just witnessed the happier bedside manner of Gordon Ramsay. We bet it's probably new to some of you.
Thank you. That was nice. Very nice indeed.
Don't miss out on your chance to win an iPhone X. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Then click the description below to increase your odds of winning. Good luck!